Hi guys, welcome back to my amazing kitchen. My name is Abba. In today's video, please allow me to introduce you to my garden eggs and peanut stew. So come along and let's get right into the video. In my bowl here, I have a little over 1 kilograms of fresh garden eggs. To it, I'm going to add enough water to give it a quick rinse. To prep my garden eggs for cooking, I'm going to cut off the stem and then cut it into two to ensure faster cooking, and then give it another rinse and transfer it into my cooking pot. Now add enough water to cover your garden eggs and transfer it onto your stove. Go ahead and add some salt, cover and allow it to cook until soft and tender. Whilst my garden eggs are cooking, I have here some dried rosemary and some cilantro seeds. I have here 2 cloves of garlic, some green chilies. These chilies are very flavorful but not that spicy, but you can use any chilies of your choice. And I also have here some chopped ginger and some chopped red onions. I have here 1 can of plum tomatoes, but you can use fresh tomatoes as well. And finally, some roasted peanuts. Please kindly check out the description box down below for a list of all the ingredients. In my blender, I'm going to add my plum tomatoes, my cilantro and dried rosemary, my chilies, garlic, ginger and chopped onion, and my roasted peanuts. I'm also going to rinse the can of my tomatoes and add a little bit of water, just a little bit, and blend everything together until smooth. It doesn't have to be super smooth. I'm going to set my blended mixture aside until it's needed. Over here, I have some salted codfish which I have boiled for like 5 to 10 minutes to soften it up. So this is how the salted codfish looks like before it was boiled. I hope you can tell the difference. I also have here some sliced onion, and I'll be using some mackerel. Smoked mackerel is best, but I don't have that, so I'll be using some mackerel fillets in oil. So at this point, I'm done prepping for my stew, so I go back to check on my garden eggs and they are not yet done. They have to be soft and tender. So I'm going to transfer this onto a different hob and start with my stew. So in my pan here, I have added a little bit of oil, and to it, I'm going to add my sliced onion and fry this for about a minute or two until slightly translucent. Don't start with a lot of oil, as the peanut is going to release a lot of oil later on. I then go ahead and add my salted codfish, which I have flaked at this point. Momoni would have been better, but since I don't have that, I'm using the codfish instead. So if you have momoni, please definitely use it. So after infusing my oil with that codfish, I'm going to go ahead and add my blended peanut mixture. Now go ahead and stir your mixture to loosen it up. Afterwards, you want to go ahead and rinse your blender with just a little bit of water and add it. Stir once more and then cover and allow this to cook on medium heat until the oil from the peanuts begin to settle on top of it. And this may take up to about 20 to 30 minutes, but remember to be stirring in between so it doesn't burn at the bottom. So after about 20 to 30 minutes, you should have something that looks like this. The oil has settled on top, so you know that your peanut is cooked. It is important to cook the peanuts well so you don't upset your stomach. So now that my peanut base is cooked, I'm going to go ahead and mash my garden eggs, and I don't want my garden eggs to be too smooth. You can use your food processor or the pulse function on your blender to mash your garden eggs, but I want texture, that's why I'm using my Asanka. So my garden eggs are now mashed to my preference, so I'm going to introduce it to my peanut base. And if you find the oil too much at this point, you can skim it off and add it later on if needed, but mine didn't need that at all, it was just enough. So after you add your mashed garden eggs, you want the garden eggs to cook together with the peanut base for about 5 minutes for them to marry each other very well. At this point, you want to go ahead and taste and adjust your seasoning if necessary. Mine needed a little bit of salt, and that's what I just added. But you can go ahead and add any seasoning that you think your stew may need at this point. I finally go ahead and add my mackerel fillets, and once my mackerel fillets are in, our stew is done. The mackerel fillets are very fragile, so I don't want to stir unnecessarily to break them up. So you want to be gentle whilst you stir. And voila! Our peanut and garden egg stew is done. You can go ahead and serve this with your plantain, your yam, potatoes, or even rice, and you are going to have yourself a good time. I enjoyed mine with some boiled yam, and indeed it was truly amazing. So until I come your way next time with another amazingly delicious recipe, please cook this meal with love and see it radiate through the hearts of your family. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you in my next video. Bye!